guys, okay, I don't like doing these videos on my channel just because I'm not a negative Nancy, but I thought I would tell you guys and share with you guys my story of my Sephora blacklisted. Yes, I said blacklisted. Now this references to my visit at Sephora on the VIB Rouge or VIB sale that happened in March, April, somewhere in there. I think it was April, the first part of April. So I had made a trip to Sephora to purchase a few items, and I've already put that haul up so you guys can go watch it, and you can see my other haul. I'm pretty sure that one's still up too. The first part is up, and I had commented in there that there was some returns that were going to go back to the store. Now if you looked and you saw the bag that I pointed at, you could see that it wasn't huge. It was, you know, one of the smaller sized bags that Sephora has. When I was in there making purchases, I had talked to the associate and I had told them that I had some items. Why is there a bug floating around? I had some items that I wanted to return back to Sephora, but I chose not to because I didn't want to be blacklisted. And I explained everything while I was in there, and she says, oh, no problem, that's what Sephora is great for. We can go ahead and return them for you. That's not a problem. And I told her, I'm like, some of them don't have a receipt. She's like, oh, that's not a problem. We can return them without a receipt. And I said, well, I don't want to return them and get blacklisted. I mean, I'm a VIB Rouge. I spend a lot of money with you guys, and I don't ever want to not shop here. And she says, oh, don't worry, bring it back. And so I said, okay. So I did. So I called the store. This was on the first VIB sale day. I called the store and out of consideration of their customers, and I told them, hey, I have these returns. This is how many I have. This is how far it goes back. I mean, they weren't old stuff. They were all within the year, you know, and they were maybe swatched or used once, and it just didn't work for me. And I told her, I said, when would be the best time, get off my bug, when would be the best time for me to return them to the store? And she says, oh, you can come a little bit later on tonight, that's not a problem, and we'll have someone work on your return. And I'm like, okay, that's great, I'll go ahead and do that. So I went to the store, I put everything in the bag, I took the bag, I put a few more things in the bag, brought it to the store, and was talking to the associate. I'm like, okay, I have this big bag of, well, not big bag, I have this bag. Okay, it's the bags, this size, you guys, and it wasn't even full, okay? So I told her, okay, I have my bag of returns. I feel kind of weird when I return things. I choose not to because I just don't like the feeling of people staring at me. I had pulled all of the order numbers and everything off of the my Beauty Insider account so that they would have no problem. I dated it, everything I did online. I brought it back to the store. And I gave her the paper, and she's like, okay, we'll give us some time to process these returns. And I'm like, okay, I'll go ahead and do that. I walked into the store and purchased items. I had my husband with me. I purchased some items and went up to the register, and by this time I was in the store for, I think my overall time in the store was probably 2.5 hours on that trip, and about an hour, 45 minutes to an hour on the first trip. So between 3 to 4 hours for this whole entire thing situation to happen, the second time being about 3 hours. I was picking things out that I was going to get because she was putting things on a gift card and getting cash, you know, for the returns. And so I was just shopping around the store, and amazingly, it's hard for me to say, I actually got bored and tired of being in the store for so long, and I just wanted to go. So I didn't pressure her or anything. Had my little basket of stuff, which was filling up. My husband's like, you know, you need to make sure that things are being returned. I'm like, I looked at the discount and go, with what I have now is enough for what I've already been approved for, and it's on a gift card and cash. And he's like, okay. So we go up there and wait, and then there's a few more items that was JCPenney items. I asked her if there was an issue to return those. She says, no, there wouldn't be an issue. It would just be treated as a non-receipt item. And I'm like, okay, so how, and then I asked her before she did those items, I'm like, how many items on a non-receipt will get me blacklisted? and I've never returned anything. I returned one thing and got the same exact thing. It was a different color, different shade. I asked her, she's like, oh, these few items won't do anything. And I'm like, okay. So we have still some stuff that needs to be returned back to Sephora. She runs everything through and she's like, has this receipt pop out of the computer, and I'm like, these bugs are driving me nuts. The windows were open earlier, you guys. Anyways, she pulls out this receipt and it says, we are sorry we cannot accept your return, and you will not be able to make further non-receipted returns or exchanges for a period of 365 days. Our decision is based in part on information provided by the retail equation. Return activity report may help you understand the reason for our decision. So this is what the this is what it says, you guys. So if you guys can read that, there you go. So that's what it says. That's what a blacklisted receipt looks like. Because of that situation of her blacklisting me, I couldn't turn around and take those receipts to JCPenney because basically I'm already out of the system. So I kind of feel like I was set up because there's more to this story. So my husband was next to me, and I'm like, okay, well, he has never returned a thing ever to a store. And I go, well, let's go ahead and try him, because he's like, because the lady was like, hey, well, then you can have someone else return these items for you. That's not a problem. And it shouldn't get you blacklisted. And I'm like, okay, that's not a problem. So I said, well, why don't we have my husband do it? He's never returned anything. There should be no problem for that. And she's like, oh yeah, it's, you know, a few items, there should be no problem. So she takes his driver's license and she puts it in her system. Bam, same thing. He gets the decline receipt as well. So my husband has never had any returns to the store, and he's purchased things for me. He's now blacklisted. So he's blacklisted, I'm blacklisted. And I've talked to other people because they've had the same situation. And I was talking to one of my good friends, and she had the same situation happen to her. What doesn't make any sense is that the items, I understand that it was a non-receipt, but you know, it just doesn't make any sense on it after she told me that I could return the items and then she blacklisted me. I kind of feel like I was set up. Anyways, that's basically my story of how I was blacklisted. I think I could probably still make purchases and return things with a receipt, but now if I lose something, a receipt or whatnot, even though they went to my Beauty Insider account and returned some things, I still can't return it. They're not considering that as a receipt because they wouldn't let me return anything else, even though I had my Beauty Insider account up and going. So that is my story. Hopefully it helps you guys and give you guys a little bit of explanation on how to return things to Sephora if you run into this problem. If you have any comments or questions about this, I'd love to hear them. Until then, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.